guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. Welcome back to Vlogmas. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about some favorite characters in books. These are some characters that I often think about a lot of times, memorable characters. And sometimes in my mind, I will forget that these are not real people. They are characters that there are characters that an author wrote, and that's just the beauty of just a great author. You feel like these characters are so real that they are out in this world, living. All these characters in these books, they are that way for me. So before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, the first character that I want to talk about, this is a classic book. Surprisingly for me, it's not by a Black author, but it is one of my favorite books of all times. I've read it several times. I've watched the movies, and that is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. My favorite character in this book is Jay Gatsby. Y'all. And there was, what was it? It was a theory that they were saying that Jay Gatsby could be passing. And if you know the book and his story, you know he's kind of secretive, but there's a reason why. But when I heard that theory, I was like, huh, that could be a thing, because in this book we really don't know a lot about his growing up. We just get a tiny bit, and when I say a tiny bit, but he just, you want to know more about Gatsby. I know for me, I just want to know a little bit more about Gatsby, and the fact that this book has so much that it packs a punch, yet it's so little pages. As you can see, I got my notes and everything. Again, I love this book so much. This was required reading for me my junior year of high school, and this was like the only book in high school that I absolutely love. Okay, next is Praise Song for the Butterflies by Bernice L. McFadden. Y'all know, love Bernice L. McFadden. I've read all of her books and love every one of them, but this in particular is my favorite. um and Obeyakata is just number one in my book. This is a book where it is, you got to get your mind right, because it's dealing with um basically modern day slavery in Uganda, I believe. I think that is the place. Or I know in the African culture they have something called a Chakazi system, and also a shrine, which is basically like a plantation, and you pick someone to pay for your sins, like a family member. And it can be something like fornication, it can be, lying, it can be adultery, all of that. And someone, you pick a family member, they can, like I said, pay for your sins. And they go to these shrines, and you basically are there forever. They some people escape if they don't get caught. Some people are able to get out, but it's rare. But a lot of times you just die, and you can be as little as like a kid. And in this case, Obeo stayed there for 15 years. And you can imagine. Again, think of it as a plantation. So you don't have any freedom, you know, you are sexually violated, you are physically, verbally, you know, violated. It is a lot. But the way that Bernice did this book and the way that she wrote it, it was just brilliant. And also it was beautiful. Her writing is just, it's superb. Next is Kennedy Ryan, This Could Be Us. I am obsessed with Soledad, you guys. I love this book so much. I even got my sister into reading this book. She was asking for some recommendations, and I said, you know what, you should try the Skyland series. And I said, I know personally Soledad and This Could Be Us is my favorite, out of the series. So I'll be curious to see what, you think. She ate this up. Okay. It took her a while to get into the first book. This book, she just like devoured it in like 2, 3 days. But I love Soledad so much. Oh my gosh. Like, she is such a mom. Okay. It was so funny. I was actually having a conversation with my sister, and I'm like, oh yeah, she not like no Soledad. And I'm thinking, girl, Soledad ain't no real person. You're talking about a real life person and comparing them to a character in the book. That's how well Kennedy wrote this character, Soledad. And like I said, she's such a great mom, and she just everything that goes on in her life with that little trifling husband, and she just has to have so much adversity and courage and patience. Y'all, she did it. She did it. I am so excited to see who is going to play her. Next, you guys, is Every Thug Needs a Lady by Wahida Clark. Y'all, this is my book. This is my series. This is the Thug series, and I didn't know that it was a series. Y'all, I ate this up. You hear me? This book and these characters are so memorable. So you have four women, and although they live in the hood and they're a product of their environment because they deal with men that push weight, meaning they sell drugs and they might cheat on you and might have a baby on you, or just a little men like that, right? But these girls are so 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 smart. They're brilliant. They go to Ivy League schools, okay? And then their occupations. One is Angel, which is my favorite. She is in the beginning studying to be an attorney, entertainment attorney. You have Roz, Kyra, who else? And Jazz. One of them is a scientist, one of them is a physical therapist, one of them is a psychologist, I believe. And like I said, they go to Ivy League schools. And you just see their day to day life. You see, the little men that they be dealing with. And they know, like, these men trifling. They know, we got to do better. But again, it's just a product of their environment. But I got to say, the men, although they kind of do that little stuff, illegal stuff, um, it, they are overall they are they're good men. I'm contradicting myself, Lord, because the list I just told y'all. But y'all know what I mean. Like they try to get they do get legit. And she really did develop these characters. So this series, I believe it has 6 books. And she could have kept on going, if it was up to me. These girls, these women with these men, it's just so entertaining. It's like a good Tubi movie. Okay. And then the last book, another set of women that I just absolutely love, and that is, of course, Waiting to Exhale by Terry McMillan. Everyone knows, especially if you're a Black woman, you know Bernadine, you know Robin, you know Gloria, and you know Savannah. Personally, Savannah is my favorite. I like Savannah in the book and in the movie, and of course, Whitney Houston is my girl. Okay, so I even liked it, but I like Savannah even more. Even in the book, she is my favorite. But then when I read this book twice, because I read it in the first time I read this book, I was in my 20s, and I wanted to read it in my 30s. And I have to say, although Savannah is my favorite, will always be my favorite, but I found Robin so entertaining. Like every time Robin got on, the pages, I just devoured them because she's so ditzy and dingy. And I mean, this girl, she's one of them women where I have to have a man. I have to be with a man. She, that's just her personality. You know what I mean? And the fact that and the fact that she has trifling Russell, who got a wife and won't leave the wife. He just the lies that he tells, it's like it's so obvious, yet she's still, falling for them because she's sprung, right? But I also like Robin because Robin is she's so free. Her thing is, I don't care what you think about me. This is what I think about me. You know what I mean? If you don't like my relationships and what I do at Russell, bump y'all. They ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm the one that's doing them, you not. She like that. So I can respect that. When I tell you, didn't have no sense in the world, okay? Especially when it came to men, girl. But these characters, they are iconic. They are iconic. Um, Terry McMillan, in my opinion, no one can write dialogue like Miss Terry McMillan. That dialogue is superb. You feel like you are talking to your mama, your cousin, your aunt, your sister. She just knows how to write fantastic dialogue, and she knows how to develop characters. And I think that's why this book is so timeless. It's so classic, because she just did such a fantastic job. And when you think about it, it's just 4 women that are in their mid to late 30s living their day-to-day life. It was superb. I think every woman, no matter what race, you should read Waiting to Excel. And it was an interview I watched. She actually said when she had, published this book and came out with it, that she had more white women writing to her, just about the complexities of dating, the complexities of being a, woman. Of course, it's homage and it's going to, hit black women even more because you got a black woman writing about black characters. The fact that this book and these characters, it did not only resonate with just black women, it resonated with women all over the world. Again, that's just the beauty of a great writer. And Terry McMillan, in my opinion, is a fantastic writer. But yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to my favorite characters. Okay, lastly, for the 3 Christmas songs that I am going to be listening to, the first one is 8 Days of Christmas by Destiny's Child. If you guys don't know, Destiny's Child is my favorite group of all times. My first CD, I'm a kid of the 90s, my first CD was Writings on the Wall. So I grew up listening to Destiny's Child, okay? Love their Christmas album so much. It's different and it's Destiny's Child. If you are a fan of Destiny's Child, if you listen to Destiny's Child, that Christmas album that embodies them. Next, I'm going to be listening to Luther Vandross every year, every Christmas. Y'all know this year I had a Luther Vandross moment to listen to all of his records. I have several of his albums on vinyl, and we'll be getting some more. Okay, love that song. I mean, it's Luther Vandross, but you just have to say Luther Vandross. And then the last song I'm going to be listening to is, of course, Cece Winans' "Let's Celebrate Christmas." This is Cece Winans' first solo Christmas album that came out. I want to say was it late 90s or early 2000s. It is bomb. I believe it's called "The Gift." So yeah, guys, that is the 3 Christmas songs I am listening to today. I'll be back with more Black Books. Bye.